Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
You mean to wish me a good morning, or do you mean that it is a good morning whether I want it or not?
Please go away. Let me speak for the love of God.
This is Good Movie Monday. Hey, Ben.
Hey, Glenn.
How's it going, everybody?
Almost forgot your name just then.
Well,
That's how bad the memory is getting.
wow.
It's not just movie names I'm forgetting.
I may have a cure for that. I'll tell you about it in a little bit. But yes, welcome to everybody listening. As I said, Good Movie Monday is the show. We are the podcast dedicated to nerdy cinematic ramblings. Every single week we're coming at your ear holes. My name's Glenn Cochran and Ben Helwig is in the house.
I believe we're going into the ear holes.
Yep.
Oh, we're coming out of it.
Coming at you.
Coming at the ear holes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about right now? I don't know. What did I just say? Talking about brain fog. I can't remember shit. How is it going, mate? What's news?
Yeah, it's going well. It's going well. I've had a pretty busy week. I'm trying to for work. I ran out of budget
Oh no.
for this video essay, so now I've got to edit it myself because I can't afford to get anyone else to do it. And I don't really edit things. And I feel like I've been working on this thing for 3 days straight. The full essay is 11 minutes. I'm only up to the 7-minute mark.
You need to do whatever it is you did with that terrific TV Tuesday jingle.
Yeah, I need to AI it.
Yes.
Send it on to the. What if that exists? Like,
Have
yeah,
you tried
edit this.
ChatGTP?
Yeah.
Good
I'm
for
a
everything.
Mid-Journey. Imagine. That actually reminds me to cancel my Mid-Journey subscription because I haven't used it in about a month, and they're gonna sting me for another $50.
What people don't know is this entire show is AI.
That's what,
I haven't seen you in such a long time.
I've been AI since before it was popular.
Go on. What's an acronym for that?
Cybernetic.
No.
No. What's an acronym? What's an acronym?
Well, no. What is AI an abbreviation for in your world?
Oh.
Yeah, it's a good question.
It's a good question. Cut out the pause while I think of a funny.
If you were
funny-
real AI, you'd have the answer.
I'd have the answer. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've scraped the internet, and I found that what is funny is
that. Ben is buffering right now.
I'm like Jaime and Get Smart when he breaks down.
What the hell are we talking about? I have no idea.
Jeez, I wish I had a good answer. I wish I was like, quick enough off the cuff to go. Oh, it's anti-parliamentarianism or whatever. I'm anti-inflation. That's what AI stands for me.
Ah, excellent.
Yeah,
We got there.
it was.
I'm just going to leave all of that in.
in.
Yeah.
Please edit it out.
What do we got this episode? Well, as you can tell from the music we've played in the intro there, it is the Police Academy theme. So it's the 40th anniversary of Police Academy. We're going to talk a little bit about that a bit later on in lieu of like an actual guest on the show, which not for lack of trying. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Fell through at the last minute.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that.
Do you remember Neon Magazine?
Yes.
Neon Magazine was a great. If you're listening to the show and you don't know what Neon Magazine was, in the 90s it was a great British film magazine. But I'm guessing that whoever wrote for it, like they always had like a really good sense of humor. And in one, I'm pretty sure it was British. I could be wrong. One episode they had a whole like 2-page spread of film ideas, like of projects that Alex Cox submitted himself to be the director of
Right.
after Repo Man. And but it was all done. They were all done in like the Alex Cox way. Like he'd rewritten them to be like Alex Cox films. And then one was like for Police Academy. His whole thing was these were they weren't the pictures, they were just the rejection letters from the studios as to why they didn't think he would be appropriate.
Excellent.
And his one was, they went on for a bunch of stuff, and then one of them was, our idea is that Commandant Lassard would be a kind of lovable uncle type of character, not a megalomaniacal Nazi psychopath who shoots cadets from his window with a sniper rifle. Having him sit on a whoopee cushion after each kill is too little too late. I'm afraid you're compromising. Like now, every time I watch Police Academy, I just imagine him sitting on a whoopee cushion after sniping one of the cadets.
The time is right for that movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want.
that's the Christopher Nolan remake, or the Nicholas Winding Refn.
Zack Snyder.
The
Far out. I'm going to look forward to this Police Academy chat. We do have Jarrett coming up as well to talk about physical media. The Boneheads are going to drop in a bit later to to not repeat themselves because last
You're
week.
just lucky you didn't play this week's segment last week.
Well, that's true. Last week, I did play a duplicate of the week before. So, yeah, there's a reason for that, and it's that brain fog I'm going to talk about in a minute. What else? Got a couple of songs too, Police Academy related, so I'm looking forward to playing those. I just want to give a bit of a plug to the other podcasts I do, Up Late. I think you will have wished you were on the most recent episode, Ben, because we did a lot of singing.
Oh.
We did guess the movie the song's from.
And what, you had to sing the song and the other person had to guess?
Well, we had to...
Unbelievable sight.
we had to...
Shining, shimmering, splendor.
You're playing softball there. Like, you got to be a bit trickier than
It's
that.
going to be harder than that, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it was a fun game. We're going to do it again in this coming episode. So if you want to hear me actually sing, and Chloe as well, then give it a listen. I really really wish you'd been on it, Ben, because we know you love a good sing-along.
Yeah, but you do know my bedtime is 8 o'clock on Wednesdays, so
That's right.
it never can make it for Up Late.
That is true.
You could just record it earlier and just broadcast it.
That's right. So
I feel like it's a personal slight to keep me out of the show.
Anyway, you get podcasts, but it is a video cast. So
that is a point.
YouTube and Facebook are the places to go for that one.
I do hate the video. I like the singing, but I hate the video.
He says into the camera.
Oh, God damn it.
So yeah, this whole brain fog thing I've been alluding to. So last week I started a story on my sleep apnea journey.
Yes.
Now I don't really want to tell this story, but I have started the
Are
process.
you on the machine, or are you still on the app?
No, I'm on the machine. But what I'm saying is, like, I didn't think before I told that story that I'd have to give some kind of conclusion. So anyway, here's the kind of rundown of what's wrong with me at the moment. So apparently I should either be dead or brain dead, according to...
Look, I mean, I think a decent argument could be made to the fact that you're already both.
Yeah, that's right. So on a regular scale of sleep apnea, a 40 to 50 episodes per night is considered severe and dangerous, right? I clocked up 83.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Apparently, my brain's only getting something like 50 to 60% of oxygen a night. And it is believed that I probably haven't had a proper night's sleep in over 4 years, but my body's gone into survival mode, so I just don't know it.
Wow.
Yes. So I am on the machine, and first night was a bit of an ordeal because the machine wasn't working properly.
Right.
So it was like doing bells and whistles and
was
shit.
this done through like a doctor, or is this like something you do yourself?
No,
like
well, it's kind of there's a specialist involved, and
they give you the app.
Yes, they give you. It started off with the test was the app, which is before the machine.
So is this an app I can download from the App Store and give it a try myself?
No. There is probably one, but the stuff I talked about last week was just to determine if I was qualified for the test.
Right.
I am now in test mode, so I've got a machine for a week that I use, and if it proves beneficial, yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of cool. Like, there's different kind of masks you can get. Once again, not movie related, people. This is a public service announcement.
Yeah, this is just us having a chat.
Yeah,
that's fine.
So I've got what's called a nose pillow mask, which goes under your nose, and that's it. So the tube goes in sort of above your head, and it comes down the sides and into your nose. You can get a full face one if you're someone that sleeps with your mouth open, all kinds of things. But
because my dentist told me that I grind my teeth.
Yep.
And I was like, I don't
you could
really
do the mouth guard one.
Yeah, well, I was like, I don't really do it during the day, and they're like, that you probably do it during your sleep.
That's why I've got that little canine
Yeah.
tooth is completely filed down. I've got the same
Yeah.
thing.
So I spent it cost me $500 to get the mouth guard thing made.
Yep.
I used it twice because it feels weird to
No,
have
look,
something in my mouth when I'm asleep.
Let me give you an explanation of what it feels like. Firstly, when it's new to you, it is quite startling. It gives you a bit of a head rush. Like it's almost like being high.
But it's like what's the Arnie bodybuilding
Pumping iron.
pumping iron? Yeah, when they're all out backstage huffing the oxygen.
Well, my wife called me Darth Vader last night. But it pumps so much air into you, right? Like it really straight up you, right?
Right up the clacker.
And yeah, it gives you a natural high straight away because you're getting more oxygen than you've ever had before. But then I found that when you do open your mouth, it all comes out your mouth. And I felt like some kind of blow up mattress being let down. Like, because every time I open my mouth, it'd be like, like, Jesus, this is so weird.
Are you awake for it? Oh, because you're awake at the start.
Yeah. So there's the thing you can do where it lulls you into the sleep. So you can set it for 20 minutes, half an hour. So it starts off soft and then builds up. It ramps up. It's called the ramp, and it ramps up. But I've decided I'm just going full bore from the start, right? And it's great. And there's no resistance when you breathe out, which is the interesting thing. Anyway, blah blah blah. Long story, very long story short. I'm severe case, and I probably shouldn't be cohesive right now. Which is
And how long have you been on the machine?
only a few nights.
Okay,
so
you haven't noticed a difference yet?
not yet. I won't notice for a few more days. But suffice to say, that explains so much of my brain fog. And she said she's amazed that I'm even thinking straight, let alone brain fog.
I want to give it a go.
Yeah, I reckon it'd be beneficial. Anyway, so there we go. That's that. I wanted to talk about other stuff at the start of this show as well, but maybe I'll save it for later on.
I've already fucked up the beginning of the show, so
well,
this is much more interesting.
I did happen to go and see Monkey Man and Wicked Little Letters without you, and they were both pretty good. Reckon you would like them both.
Yeah.
Yeah, Monkey Man is Bloodsport meets John Wick, and I reckon it shits all over John Wick.
Yeah, I don't really. I didn't mind the first John Wick, but
this
don't
is
feel
better.
I need to watch it
It's all
again.
set in India. It's Dev Patel, who's a fucking great sort of John Wick kind of character, but he goes off on this sort of training that's very blood sport, and he's avenging the death of his mother, and and he's got more reason to kill than what John Wick did.
Yeah.
Anyway, and Wicked Little Letters, Olivia Colman just
People keep asking if I'm back. Yeah.
Olivia Colman is
guess I
amazing in
am.
Wicked Little Letters, and Timothy Spall is particularly excellent in it. Like, really, I think one of the best performances I've seen him in a long time. So,
I was really looking forward to that bus movie, and then I didn't actually.
yeah, I
really
watched
like
that a few weeks ago. I think I spoke about it briefly last week on
Did
the
you?
show. I think so. You need that sleep apnea machine.
Yeah. it. No, I don't remember.
Yeah, but that was pretty good. But it was also non-eventful. Like, it was just wait for Prime.
It wasn't. Yeah. No, this is one. This is from a.
Yeah,
year
The
or
Last
so ago.
Bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
You played
That's what I'm
at
saying. It's one that you would have rather than go to the cinemas at the time. Better to wait for Prime.
Yeah.
which you can
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, but even I don't even know if I watch it on Prime. Like, after having seen it, I thought it was really going to be like a, Guernsey and the Literary
No,
Potato
it's a
Society kind
soft.
of thing.
It's a soft version of The Last Orders.
Yeah.
Which that was a great film.
Yeah.
That's a great film. Anyway, it's about time we just throw to the Jarrett segment, I reckon.
Let's do it.
Nobody screws with me.
Well, maybe you'll meet the right girl and all that'll change.
Ben, how was that colonoscopy from last week? Go okay?
Yeah, it's good. The pus is all cleared up, and they're
pus.
quite happy with the canal. It's like now, apparently, the canal is like a kind of a twisty type thing, like leads into the intestines. Mine is completely straight.
All right.
It means that it's like poop 2.0. I just have to stand over the toilet, and it comes out like a rocket.
The best
That's
thing about a colonoscopy
fantastic.
is the colonoscopy farts. Have you seen TikTok? Oh, Google it. It's just
No.
the best.
They film inside the room when the person's asleep on the.
Oh,
or he's
no,
when
it's
you
just
get out.
there's so many montages of people that have just come out of a colonoscopy, and their farts are epic.
Yeah, right. I guess because I imagine it's like that scene in Grimsby where they
yeah.
Yes.
like,
What a scene.
they crank you up with like a kind of a medieval torture device to widen it 7 to 10 centimeters so they can double fist you and just go whoops.
By the way, I forgot Jarrett's here. Hi.
Oh, hey. Hey, gentlemen.
How's things, mate?
Good, good. I'm looking forward to the Studio Canal release in 4K of Ben's ordeal.
Or
Did
do
you emphasize the word canal intentionally then?
Of course.
Okay, excellent. Good.
It's straight like a canal, but not one of those windy ones.
No,
It really
there's no,
fits like a studio.
there's no lock. There's no point where the
There's no
water-
trapdoor here. It's just a pit.
What
Yeah.
the fuck? All right.
Anyway, anyway. Oh wow. So how are you guys doing? Have you been catching up with some physical media in the last week?
That's a great question. No,
Okay, well there you go.
I haven't
Yeah,
had
all right, well,
time.
That's all I've been doing outside of working is watching the physical media because the older I get and the more physical media I accumulate, the less reason or desire I have to leave the house. So
I've been in the city every single night this week, so like it's just not
oh,
going to happen.
man. You're like I don't know, like Rob Lowe in the 80s or something. That's incredible.
If I'm-
Like Youngblood. He's
yeah, I
Youngblood.
was going to say,
Yeah.
Papa J. Fox, eat your heart out.
Yeah, totally.
So
Well,
what's
gentlemen,
coming out,
this
mate?
week, it's a good week. It's a good week for home entertainment. We had a good week last week, but this week, I dare say, is a little bit better because we've got the release of Eli Roth's Thanksgiving coming
Amazing.
out on Blu-ray and DVD. And I know everyone, we can all say we're fans of this film.
Hell yeah.
Definitely. And just in time for Easter too, which is really when I like to watch my Thanksgiving film.
Yeah, totally. Hey, you could do a double with that and the holdovers, maybe, because that might be out by then as well. I think that comes out later in the month. So perfectly themed.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one's coming out and it's a pretty stacked release. Although, like I said, it's only Blu-ray and DVD. Sadly, no 4K. They didn't do a 4K in the US. They're not doing a 4K in the UK. They're only doing a 4K somewhere in Europe, and it's not Germany. So I don't know if I'll get in there straight away, but I really want to watch the special features because this one you can tell is made by someone who, you know, appreciates home entertainment. So Eli Roth's got a commentary on there. You've got deleted and extended scenes. You've got 2 featurettes. You've got outtakes. You've even got some of Eli Roth's early short films that he did with his co-writer on this film, which is really exciting because his early shorts are great. Like I remember when Cabin Fever first came out on DVD, it
The
had like
rotten
those
fruit
rotten
stuff?
fruits.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to check
yeah.
that stuff out. Look, I might break my rule and probably pick this up on Blu-ray, and then if the 4K comes along, I'll double dip and find a way to get rid of the Blu-ray.
But bad
You
news, I heard that Steven
God.
Soderbergh shot some of the extras.
Well, in that
What is
case, I'm
that then?
definitely. Well, look, they definitely won't benefit from being on 4K. Knowing Steven Soderbergh, he probably recorded it on an iPhone. That prick.
Oh man.
So that
well,
one I'm excited about.
too.
But then the other release, another big release that's not getting a 4K, but it's still coming out on Blu-ray and DVDs, Michael Mann's Ferrari.
Yeah.
And that's got 5 featurettes on there. And I was curious, did you gentlemen check out Ferrari?
We did indeed.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
I
Yes or
did.
no?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah. Like there are
It's
some.
no
parts-
Ford versus Ferrari, but it's
it's
you
not
know.
as fun as Ford versus Ferrari, but
Yeah, that was a great film.
It does have much better crash scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Ford
Right,
versus Ferrari does.
Yeah.
And I'd be
there's-
keen to see what they look like on a 4K TV when you actually can be close to it.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
Because they're
yeah.
quite graphic.
Yeah, there's a very, very gnarly crash scene that made the movie worthwhile in and of itself.
Yeah.
Okay, I will
Yeah.
definitely check it out. I'm not a massive fan of Michael Mann, particularly the last, I don't know, 20 years of his career, Collateral,
Same here.
and
I like
Miami
Collateral.
Vice and
Collateral looks fantastic.
Public Enemies, and I don't know if he's done any others.
I'm with
since
Ben.
then.
I like Collateral, but I do agree. Like the Public Enemies and the
Oh, yeah.
last few things have just been a bit.
Miami Vice was.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway,
yeah.
anyway.
Wasn't
But then,
improved
I don't know
by a
if you guys
director's
have-
cut. In fact, it was ruined by a director. I mean, it wasn't great to begin with, but the director's cut here omits like half of the opening scene of the movie, so it just starts with some dancing to Linkin Park, and you're like, "Am I watching the right thing? What is this?" Anyway,
Oh, that
Yeah,
fucking that Black Hat was awful.
I didn't watch that,
me too.
but Arrow's just reissued that in the States. They've done a 4K of it. Apparently, he was promised that he'd get the director's cut if he would just agree to the one that went out theatrically. And then whatever happened, I don't think the director's cut properly got a release. Anyway, Arrow's gone and done a proper restoration, actually put a lot of cash into it because I think they had to go back to the edit because it might be, part digital,
I mean,
you know,
seriously,
shot and everything.
when you've got someone like Michael Mann directing your film, you're a studio. Why wouldn't you just give him director's cut?
I know. I mean, like, why bother? Why
Yeah.
bother giving him a movie and
Yeah.
not letting him sort of just have free
That's right.
reign at it? You know,
mean,
but they
just
tried the old
considering-
Ridley Scott on him. They went, you know, hey, just deliver us the theatrical and we'll let you have that
Yeah.
director's cut.
But you kind of think, you know, if it fails, then it's on his head.
Yeah.
It's his reputation that he's screwing up. Really, the studio executives, it's not their money.
No.
The studio's money. So why do they really care that much? Like, you don't get into business with someone like Michael Mann unless
No.
it's a Mann film. Otherwise, why bother?
No, that's it. That's it. But anyway, so yeah, that one's coming out. The two releases though that I'm very excited about that are coming out this week are both from Umbrella Entertainment, and Ben's worked on one of these releases, which is a French horror film from the early 2000s that I just love them, aka Ills, the superior film to the original Strangers. But Ben, tell us a little bit about this release. Why does this release, you know, why is it better than any other release that's been released thus far?
Well,
Apart from being in high definition, which is definitely an advantage.
the other releases didn't really have any extras at all. Like the DVD, funnily enough, the DVD release of some of the US or the UK release had some extras. Like they had some like basic EPK ones, and there was the funny thing is that like some of the extras are were fake because they did pretend for a while that Them is based on a real story, and
Yep.
it comes out in the commentary and in all of the reviews and stuff I've read of the film. They all talk about how no one could find any evidence of the fact any of this was based on any kind of real story. Like it didn't happen. But the original EPK things that they put through were like, you know, scenes from the police
Yeah.
press
Oh, yeah.
interview and stuff like that. It's all clearly shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like none
Yeah.
of it's real.
Love that.
But you know, we got a commentary done by Alex West, and who wrote a book on the French New Wave, and Andrea Subasati, who is the one of the editors of Rue Morgue magazine, did a fantastic, and they also host a podcast whose name I can't remember right now. They'll be very upset that I didn't plug them. Horror Vault or something like that. They're Canadian, but it's a great podcast. And I listened to them talk about the film, and so that's why I was like, oh well, got to get them for the podcast. There is also Alexandra Hella Nicholas does a video essay for the film, which I think
Safe as Houses. I did edit it.
You may
Yes.
have edited
Really
it.
proud of that one, actually. Yeah, that was great. And it's a great. It's. I think it's my favorite of Alex's video essays so far because it's really just. She reads things from the film that I never saw, but after hearing her speak about it, I completely understood and went, God, I feel like such a layman. Like, yeah, clearly it's really incredible. It's only like 12 minutes, but it's so insightful.
Awesome.
And it was a joy to edit it. But yeah, that's a great video essay. But yeah, it's a crazy good release. Like I'm upgrading my DVD. I had the Dark Sky DVD from the States, and yeah, this is like a full-fledged special edition. So I'm excited about that one. Then the other one I'm excited about is Larry Clark's Bully is getting released on Blu-ray as well, which is one of those tough watches, as most of Larry Clark's films are. But I think it was probably my only other really favorite Larry Clark film outside of Kids. I wasn't massive on Another Day in Paradise or Ken Park.
He also did
but,
Teenage Caveman.
Oh, and Teenage Caveman, yeah.
and he also did Martha Girl, which I worked on.
Oh, yes, that's right. That Bounty, was that a Bounty
release? He's done a sequel to it, which it's very Martha Girl is the kind of one you watch if you want to watch Bully light.
Right, yeah.
Very light.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I saw someone did a double pack of Martha Girl 1 and 2. It might have been a Vinegar Syndrome, sub-label, like OCN label. But yeah, Bully, so I'm excited about that one. It's going to be a hard watch, especially going, that Brad Renfro's no longer with us either. So yeah, it was
odd. I find it so odd that Nick Stahl is the kind of off the rails kind of crazy, and Renfro always plays like the
straight one,
the straighter
one. Yeah, Although
want
that
to
said,
fit in
remember
and
when
can't.
Nick Stahl went off the rails?
I was about
though,
to say,
too?
it's like,
And he
fact
went
and
missing
fiction
for a
blur.
point in time,
Yeah,
and then
that's
they think
right.
he popped up in a porno theater, and
Life
yeah, it
imitating
was-
art.
yeah,
Yeah, I thought he
absolutely. I
pulled
don't know what Larry
Margot-
Clark does to these actors. Although, no, look, you know who we worked with before Larry Clark, don't we?
Didn't he pull a he pulled a
Act Pupil.
Yeah.
well, I don't-
He
no,
worked with
it-
Brian Singer, so
didn't he pull
Yeah.
a Margot Kidder and they found him on like a neighbor's roof?
was this Nick Stahl?
Big style, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, the other release I want to mention that's coming out this week is from Viavision, and
Yeah.
it's the Firestarter collection, which I don't know. It
1 and 2?
omits just 1 and 2 omits the recent Firestarter film, which I didn't hate, but I don't love really any of the Firestarter films. I kind of like them, They
Yeah,
all
same.
have their strengths, and weaknesses. Mainly 2 has a lot more weaknesses than the remake or the original. But it collects, 1 and 2, 2 being rekindled, the DTV sequel. And this is kind of like a new first for Viavision 2. They've got it in high def, but it's upscaled.
Right.
So upscale, I don't know how that's going to look, and I don't know what they use, if they use like an AI to upscale it or whatever. So I'm curious to sort of see that. But there is all the special features that were on the Scream Factory release in the Plan. I think Plan B was the label that put it out in the UK. Plus some new special features. Good friend Lee Gambin does a commentary on there with some other chap. I think Aaron Dries, maybe. I'm not 100%.
Plan B.
Brad Pitt's production company.
Yeah, Brad Pitt or George Clooney, yeah.
Might be Plan A. I know. I was tossing it up in my head. It's either Plan A or Plan B, the distribution company in the UK.
Interesting time when they did the rekindled. Like there was a little wave of Stephen
Oh,
King
yeah.
legacy sequels. Like you had the Rage
Yeah.
Carry 2,
Yes.
and then rekindled. Like it's an odd thing
Yeah.
that's a bleep in time, and we had these little sequels that were like 20 years later.
I
I know,
remember
but
being really excited about the Firestarter rekindled. Was it rekindled?
Yeah.
Rekindled,
Because
yeah.
it had that I can't remember something. Is it Mercium something or another? But she was the lead of Jeepers Creepers.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
She's in another movie, and then it was a bit of a tank, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
absolutely
She was
was.
never seen again.
I know,
Except
it's-
Long Hot American Summer. Or
Yeah, I know, because anytime I revisit Jeepers Creepers, I always think, God, this girl, if you would have think her and Justin Long, you would have thought she was the one that would have
she was
made
the
it.
one that was going to.
And as much as I love Justin Long, don't get me wrong, but again, look, it could have come down to working with the director, Victor Salva.
Well, this
managed
is
to mention Victor Salva, Brian Singer. Anyway, the Firestarter collection. So yeah, I think. Well, actually, I'll let you in a little secret. I already sold my UK release on eBay because I was planning on picking up this one. And it's one of those Viavisions that has like a nice little lenticular cover, and I think this one may benefit from it because it's Drew Barrymore with the flames in the background, so it actually might look pretty cool. And then some of those collector cards sort of things that some people seem to like. Otherwise, they wouldn't. Why would they keep putting them in these editions? People
Yeah.
must love them. They've done a poll, and people say, "Make more of these cards." Yeah. So anyway, gentlemen, that's
Cool.
all the releases that are coming out this week, and it's been another good
Yeah,
week for home
it
entertainment.
has been. I guess we'll see you next week when we do the whole Harvey Weinstein special.
Of course, I've got some stories for you because I just revisited The Burning recently as well. So there you go. But anyway, gentlemen, until next time, stay physical.
It's Terrific TV Tuesday, the only Tuesday TV segment that drops on a Monday.
I love that. I love that. That's great. And I could keep on today's theme of Police Academy by doing the 2 Police Academy TV shows that they made. There's 2 of those. There was like a live action one, and I think
the animated one.
Yeah, that's right. And I think Michael Winslow was the only member of the original cast that was in all the episodes of the show. And I think everyone, maybe there's a couple of cameos here and there from Tackleberry and Callahan. I don't know. Something like
He knew where the paycheck was coming from, and he was quite happy to milk it.
He knew no
the
one else
entire
wanted
time.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. He's not like one of the, he's not like Carly from Home and Away. He was like, I'm going to quit Home and Away and go to LA to be a star. I'm like, come on, you look like a Sydney mole, Carly. You're never going to make it big in the US. It's not going to happen. And what happened? Disappeared. Never was in any.
Michael Winslow didn't. He's on my Facebook.
He's still around,
He
but he's
is.
been. I feel like I've replaced him with Devin Clark.
Yeah.
who does those,
Yeah.
the voiceover. Yeah.
Well, I also find Michael Winslow's craft, let's call it, isn't what it used to be.
Yeah.
It just sounds like him making noises now. Like it doesn't sound like a real thing anymore.
I just feel like he's turned into, Bart Simpson when they show him when he's got obese and he's like, I wash myself with a rag on a stick. And he's become like a male stripper. And it's like, that's Michael Winslow. He just doesn't care
I
anymore.
kind of feel like his original audience is starting to die off as well, and he hasn't got a new audience. Like there's no one that's up to speed with it. Anyway, but I'm not going to do the Police Academy shows for my terrific TV Tuesday
I
recommendation.
thought that was the hot. Yeah, right.
In fact, I'm not prepared at all.
I think what you just did there is
Yeah.
called a Ben. You just pulled a Ben where you talked about a show. We talked about a show for a good 5 minutes, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, I pull a Ben every week, don't I?
You do.
Yeah, that's what the desk is for.
Which there's only us in the room. I don't know why we need the desk. Who are we fooling?
Something to put the cameras on.
Yeah. But I do like the friction of it hitting the top.
Oh, fucking hell. So I'm going to just do Lucky Hank because I'm not that prepared, and it's one of the most recent shows. Bob Odenkirk. It's the show that got cancelled after one season, but boy, is it a good season.
The one where he's a academic?
Yes. So he's like
Yeah.
a cantankerous English professor with tenure at a college, and he gets caught up in sort of the whole... He's got a whole new generation of students that are woke, and he gets caught up in that and gets cancelled, and then he's got to deal with being cancelled while on tenure, but at the same time, he's also got at home like marital problems. He's got a daughter that's sort of a bit angsty and causing him all kinds of grief. So he's just dealing with home life, and school life is particularly stressful. But he don't give a fuck. He's like a Larry, what's his name? Larry David type of character.
Yeah.
But in a Bob Odenkirk kind of way, and it's glorious. He's got a beard; it just suits him.
My favorite. I watched the first couple of episodes, and they voted. He's the head of the English department.
Yep.
And there's a scheming. One of the scheming characters, one of the other teachers who wants to be head of the English department.
Yeah.
And so she brings about this kind of thing so they have to call a vote to, that makes him stand down.
Yep.
And he's quite happy because he can't be fucked doing the work. So they have the vote, and he's the only one. And they all abstain. I think they all abstain except for one person who votes for him. And they're like, hang on. No, they all vote for themselves.
Right.
They all vote for themselves except for... two of them who voted for him again.
Yep, that's
and
right.
He's like, he just ends up being head of the English department.
That's
again.
right. It's hilarious. It's all within the one episode, but it's great. And the cast of The Faculty are fantastic. But I was just trying to think off the top of my head because it has been several months since I watched it. But there's a great sort of subplot with a character. I think his name is Harvey Weinstein. I think that's his name. No, Jeffrey Epstein. There's a character called Jeffrey Epstein in there, and he wants to have like a whole building named after him. He's like a philanthropist and he's a good guy. He's like a billionaire and all this. And he wants a building named after him, the Jeffrey Epstein Center. and they're all trying to sort of, get around how do you build that? And it's such a funny moment of this guy has a moment where he just flips out. Like, I'm just sick to death of these fucking Jeffrey Epstein comparisons,
Yeah.
Anyway, Lucky Hank, I can't recommend it enough. Even though it got axed, isn't coming back for a second season. Watch the first one because it's fully rounded. It does have closure at the end in a very nice way. And just great. Bob Odenkirk, like he can't go wrong in my eyes. I remember I cottoned onto him before he did Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. He was in Fargo. He played the sheriff in Fargo.
Yeah.
Sort of a simple country, bumpkin type of, middle American sheriff. Fucking sold me there, won me over, and obviously I'd seen him on Mr. Show in the past and that, but didn't really connect him to that at that time. And then, of course, Wayne's World. He's in Wayne's World.
Yeah,
I think
right.
Wayne's World 2. He's the nerd. It's like, Wayne's World. He goes, we came all the way from Dakota. Where did you come from? So anyway, I'm just prattling because I'm not prepared. So there you go. Lucky Hank. There you go. It's my recommendation. Everyone should watch it because it's great.
Excellent.
Over to you, Ben.
All right, I'm going to talk about. It's just I think not sure if it was last week or the week before it dropped on Disney Plus. It is the new show, the reimagining of James Clavell's Shogun.
Right. Yes, I've seen clips from
Clips from it. It is fantastic. The original series was an 80s kind of mini series or maxi series, I guess, because they were seemingly feature length episodes or thereabout.
I feel like that's been retconned as well, or sort of put into movie-length episodes. And was it like VHS in movie form.
I think it did get a VHS. Yeah, like a
Yeah, but like Indiana
basically like
Jones,
the
the young
pilot.
Indiana
Yeah.
Jones did. It started off as a TV show with episodes, then they made them into little movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and set in feudal Japan,
Mhm.
and it's all about this. At the time, Spain and Portugal have discovered how to get to Japan and are using it, are trading with the Japanese, but they've kept the way secret from the rest of Europe and England, and who are desperate to access some of the riches. And this guy John Blackthorne, he's the navigator on a ship who have been basically lost at sea for weeks while they're trying to navigate their way and fight through Magellan, the Straits of Magellan, and try and get to Japan, the Japans as they call it. And he gets there and they crash. They basically crash, and then they discover Japan. He's got no way to get home, and he becomes embroiled in Japanese politics. The emperor has just died, and he's not infant. His son's like 6 or 7. Is the heir to the throne, but there's a council of regents who all have their own ambitions, and are not above executing him to take power. And there's only one kind of lord, Toranaga, who is loyal to the old emperor and his son, and which puts him at risk from all the other lords. And while he is strong enough to defeat any one of them by themselves, if they all teamed up, he would be overwhelmed.
Gotcha.
So he has to use cunning and guile to kind of, and he uses, because the Portuguese have kind of established a presence there, and they do not want the rest of Europe accessing Japan, especially because at the time Portugal and Spain were Catholic, and England and the rest of Europe were kind of Protestant Christians who hated each other.
Yeah, yeah.
And so there's that kind of going on as well. But then he uses Blackthorne as a kind of chess piece. But the guy who plays Toranaga is Hiroyuki Sanada, who the first thing I ever saw him in was Last Samurai, where he's the second samurai.
Name rings such a bell.
He's in Bullet Train. He's the old professor in Bullet Train. He's the
Yes,
guy now
yes,
you
yes,
get
yes.
if you want a samurai
Absolutely.
type guy in a movie.
When does Chris Farley come into it?
He's dead.
I
But there's actually, Cosmo Jarvis plays John Blackthorne, it was the Richard Chamberlain
yeah.
part in the original. Oh, and the Toranaga was played by Toshiro Mifune in the original. But Cosmo Jarvis was from this movie called Calm with Horses. I don't know if you saw this one back in 2019. It's this Irish kind of these guys living in a poor town in Ireland where they're all mixed up in criminal activity. It's Barry Keoghan.
Keoghan. Yep.
Barry Keoghan is kind of like
Saltburn
the local.
guy.
He's the son of the adult, the big crime lord, but he's also he's a vicious little prick, and he's friends with this Cosmo Jarvis, who is like this big muscle bound kind of guy, but he's also like a bit of a simpleton, and he's got a kid from this girl who just wants him not to have anything to do with the crime stuff, but he's too nice. He thinks they're his friends, and it's just this really great movie. And I haven't seen him in anything since. And he popped up in this, and I was like, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah, yeah.
And it's him, and he is great.
Excellent. And how many episodes are there?
There's so far 4 have dropped. There's new episodes every Tuesday,
So people can catch up.
so people can catch up. Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely worth checking out. It is it's incredibly violent. Somebody gets pissed on in the first episode.
Is it in English?
It is partially English. Well, that's the funny thing. Like, they all speak Portuguese,
Yeah.
but the Portuguese is English,
Yeah.
and the Japanese is Japanese,
Right.
but the Japanese is all subtitled.
Okay. Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
Shogun.
Shogun.
Ciao.
When you're hurting, disconcerted, nothing's gonna come your way. There's no reason to be bleeding. You can change your life from night to day. When your timing's right, there'll be hope in sight. Just believe in what you're saying when you say, I'm gonna be somebody. I'm gonna make my stand. I'm gonna be somebody. I really think I can. For the first time, from the inside to the outside, something feels right. If I can't be anybody but me, then I might well be somebody. Somebody. I was ready, I was willing, but I never ever got the chance. Wasn't moving, only losing, and the time is slipping through my hands. I took one step up, put my foot on the gas, got me out of nowhere. I said, I'm gonna be somebody. I'm gonna make my stand. I'm gonna be somebody. I really think I can. For the first time, from the inside to the outside, something feels right. I can't be anybody but me. I might as well be somebody. I'm gonna be somebody. I'm gonna make my stand. I'm gonna be
Care for a dance, Ben?
Don't mind if I do.
Probably the most homoerotic show around, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that's so weird when you think about it
Mm.
is that the leather-clad, the leather-clad gay guys in a gay bar, they're not actually bikers. They're just dressed as
They
bikers.
want to be bikers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the village person that
Yeah.
wears this.
Like it'd be like walking into a and being worried about it. It'd be like walking into a gay bar and they're all dressed as Indians, thinking you're going to get shot with a bow and arrow.
We are talking about Police Academy, by the way, people, and that is the music from the Blue Oyster Bar scene, infamous nightclub scene from Police Academy. I mean, I was making a joke about our show being the most. It's like cruising all over. Good Movie Monday, as if Friedkin had directed.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Police Academy. 40 years old, I can't believe it. Do you have any early memories of this movie? Like, would it be one of the sequels that you first latched onto? Was it the original?
I think
For most people our age, I'm going to just, sorry to cut you off. I reckon most people our age, number 4 is probably where they came on board.
I think I saw I saw it on TV, and I think the first one was the first one I saw.
Excellent.
But then the one after that may have been 5.
Yeah, Miami Beach.
Mission Miami Beach. Yeah. Or is it Mission Miami Beach?
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Or is it Assignment Miami Beach?
Or maybe
and
Mission to Moscow. That's
Yeah,
right.
which I always get messed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I mean, there are certain things that I really remember. Like I remember the part where Mahoney pretends to be the instructor with Kim Cattrall. I remember when the guy, the Latino lover who never appeared in another Police Academy movie, pulls his top off and he has the.
Isn't he the Italian guy?
Yeah. I think it's Spanish.
Oh, Spanish.
Latino or something.
Yeah.
But he's not really.
He's ethnic or something.
He's
just a New Yorker.
pretending to be. Where he has the whipped cream.
Oh God, yes.
Things.
Yep.
And of course Callahan.
Like,
who wants to be next to wrestle
and
me?
her little Asian buddy.
Yeah.
He was in a lot of things back in the 80s. He was the token Asian rom-com guy.
Yeah, totally. And that's the thing that I find funny about it now is that it's only when I go back and watch it that I remember that Proctor actually isn't in the first one.
Oh, that's right. Well, and neither's Bobcat.
No, Bobcat, because he was started off as a villain, so him I knew wasn't in the first one.
He's in number 2,
but I always think that Proctor is, and Proctor is in number, is it 2 or 3?
He is in.
Isn't he Mauser's sidekick first?
Yes.
And then he becomes.
Then Harris.
Then it becomes Harrison.
That's right. The fucking
Remember Mauser?
Oh, do I? Didn't he come back for number 6? I think he did.
When they go to Moscow.
No, that's number 7.
I said Miami Beach.
No, that's number 5. You're missing City Under Siege.
I thought City Under Siege was before. Oh.
No, it's number 6.
Because Nick, what's his name is in it? Not Nick. I keep thinking Nick East, but that's not his name. Matt McCoy.
Matt McCoy's in number 5.
Yeah, but isn't he in City Under Siege as well?
No, he's not.
Mahoney's in it.
Yeah, no, Mahoney's not in it either. It's number 6 is a really weird one. You can get it out on your phone and look up the cast if you want, because it's
Which is the one where Harris goes flying up the horse and
I can't remember which one that
Michael Winslow does the.
I think that might be number 3.
Or is that early in
I think that might be number
series?
3.
But I remember it's the one where it's the mayor and he's
behind the
screen.
behind the
He
screen.
looks like a Professor.
He's like Claw from Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
But number 6 was actually the very first Police Academy I went to the cinemas to see. So that's where that holds a special place in my heart. And what I always thought about number 6 was it was the only sequel that resembles number 1 in my mind. It's a little bit darker than the regular PG. But do you know the funny thing about, you think about all of the Police Academy movies and you go back to the first one, you forget that all of these characters that we love were the recruits. Other than Callahan, like they were all just recruits, so they were all just coming off the streets. That's what I find
That's
hilarious.
when they opened it, because that's the whole conceit of the first episode. That's why Harris hates them, because these hallowed halls. Even the commandant, not the commandant, the commissioner, hates them all.
Yep. So originally, I believe, well, firstly, I want to say we did try to get 2 guests on the show to talk about the 40th anniversary. Firstly, as I think I've mentioned many times, we've been trying to chase Pat Proft for a long time.
You've been trying to get Pat Proft on the show since before there was a show.
And he has agreed several times. And then he ghosts you.
Then he doesn't do anything.
Then he ghosts you, and I found out from the Boneheads he's been ghosting them too. So he just...
Well, that's one of those things. If you get a job working on DVD extras, then this is a familiar story, where you get in touch with filmmakers and you get this like enthusiastic, not just a yes, just like an enthusiastic yes.
Yep.
And then they never reply to another email.
Speaking of never replying, Steve Guttenberg was a big ask, but I went for it, and we got through a couple of layers of publicists or agents, and it was like, oh, looking good here, looking good. We passed it on, and just didn't get back to me. There's a chance they'll get back to me after the fact, in which case we're having another episode that's going to be dedicated to the career of Steve Guttenberg. Because
reminds me of that episode where I did If Looks Could Kill. But then the director listened to the episode and went, yep, like you said, probably too late.
No, but I mean, that I think...
He ghosted me after that too, because he got back in touch, told me about it. I said, hey, come on next week.
Yeah,
no reply. And he also promised me a Night Eyes security patch, which he never coughed up.
I do think that Steve Guttenberg would be my dream guest. Of all the guests we've had, I think I would want to talk to nobody more than Steve Guttenberg.
I just, have you seen Party Down?
Yeah.
And when he appears in that in season 2, whatever it is, and he basically screws what's her name's girlfriend in it, and you're like, oh, that's I can see Steve Guttenberg doing that.
Let's not forget Veronica Mars. He played the
mayor,
the sleazy mayor,
the pedophile mayor.
Yeah, yeah.
Is he the pedophile?
No, he's creepy. I don't remember a pedophile.
No, I think because it turns out he's the one who causes the bus crash.
That's
to cover up
right.
the fact that he's like a sex pest or
We
something.
should save that for next week's terrific TV. But look, what else? I did read somewhere that the initial concept for Police Academy was inspired by The Right Stuff. You know that movie, The Right Stuff, which is all about recruiting astronauts and that. And there's a particular...
The test pilots and stuff.
Yeah, there's a particular recruitment scene which apparently, I think Neil Israel, who was the first person to draft a script, based it on that and sort of went, well, what can we do comedy-wise? And he teamed up with Pat Proft and they wrote it. They brought Hugh Wilson in to direct it. And I remember Hugh Wilson, I've read somewhere, because he's now passed away. I didn't realize that until I was researching this, because I was going to try and get him on the show too.
Yeah.
Not going to happen. He was saying that he found it too bawdy and R-rated and insisted that all of the sex stuff, the really sort of, I guess, in comparison, hardcore sex stuff be removed. And then all they were left with, according to I think Neil Israel, was fart jokes. He goes, "So can we leave a fart joke in?" And that was the conceit. I mean, it does get a little bit racy in the first one with the blowjob under the podium and the spying on the ladies' showers. And stuff like that.
Buh. You must.
Do you have a favorite recruit from the first one, and then in the overall series?
Oh, look, I've always been a Tackleberry man.
Yeah, Tackleberry's great, and his family.
And when he falls in love with Colleen Camp and her family.
Her family are the ones that punch on every
Yeah.
dinner scene.
Beat the shit out of each other. These two brothers.
Oh, that is great stuff. Like, it's really unique comedy when you think about the
Yeah.
series. Like, all of the jokes within the Police Academy universe are unique to that universe.
Yeah. But I really liked Matt McCoy
Yep.
as the Mahoney replacement. But I had a major crush on Janet Jones,
Oh,
who's
right.
the love interest in it, who's
Yes.
Lasard's niece.
Yep.
And I was always upset that they did not appear, as it turns out, they weren't in City Under Siege,
Yeah.
but they should have been.
And then I
She
think
went on to marry
the-
Wayne
then
Gretzky and did the worst ever Playboy. She did a shoot for Playboy, like the Celebrity Center spread.
Yeah.
Didn't get naked.
Oh, what?
Yeah. It's a total. Just the
Yeah.
worst. I can't think of anything worse than having a celebrity photo shoot in Playboy where they don't get naked. Just be in Vogue then. I had to go through all the hassle of
Yeah.
purchasing that.
Yeah.
Like getting the looks.
That's right.
And,
The humiliation.
and to tell people that I'm only buying it for the pictures.
Yeah. I mean,
And
you edged your way to that centerfold, and
Yeah, I was erect for months leading up to watching it. For like a month because it's on the cover. When you
you came on her blouse.
You used to get the, but she still got pregnant. You used to get at the back of Playboy. They would have the photo of the cover of next month.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was literally erect for a month.
Oh, far out. I know how
Very
you feel.
disappointing.
Oh my goodness.
We'll always have Flamingo Kid Janet Jones. It's okay.
Do you have a favorite sequel?
Assignment Miami Beach.
You reckon? Yeah, that's Joe's from Bonehead as well.
Yeah,
I think that's his
my.
favorite.
Well, look, I like 2. I like 3. I like 4.
3 is undeniably my favorite of all the series, of the entire series.
That's the Bobcat Goldthwait gang one.
No, that's
no,
number
that's
2.
2.
That's number
That's
2.
the one where he comes in and it's I can't remember the name of the girl. She's actually Veronica Mars's mother in Veronica Mars.
Yeah, that's number 4. Maybe
She's the
3 as
love
well,
interest.
but I think she's number 4.
She's
Because
the,
there's
Mickey!
that, yeah, Mickey!
and was it David Spade?
And he's the skater kid, and Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah, number 4 is my entry point because it was all over television. Citizens on Patrol had the song and everything. You had the grandma with the big gun,
Yeah.
and all that. But then you go and discover the rest of them. I think I probably went number 4, number 5, then back to number 3, and rediscovered the rest. And
I keep thinking of that. I think Norm Macdonald. Is it Norm Macdonald and David Spade are on Dennis
Miller.
Maybe Dennis Miller's show, and he's talking about how Spade actually was famous before.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, I was in Police Academy, and I had an agent and everything, and they're like, you're talking about getting your work, and I said, no, I'm going to go back and finish school. I went back for 2 years, came back, and I'm like, okay, now I'm ready, and no one gave a fuck. Had to start again.
Well, Sharon Stone was in number 4.
Yeah.
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 I mean, and Christopher Lee's in number 8 or 7, Mission to Moscow.
Here's the one I haven't seen. Is he playing a Russian?
I mean, it's
of course
it's a really, really bad movie, number 8.
Yeah.
And the Mahoney, character in that one, like how there's
Who is it?
it's that Charlie Slatter or whatever, the kid from The Delinquents.
Yeah, fuck that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a weird
Fuck
movie.
that guy.
Yeah. Only half the cast of the originals come back, and they do go to Moscow, and it's just it was made too far distance from the last one.
It's the first late sequel.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because you got to think about it. That the first 6 were all made within like 10 years of each other. That's like Nightmare on Elm Street. Let's pump them out.
But how rare is it for a series where they seem the budget, or at least, I guess because
Maintains.
the budget didn't have to be that high because it is a comedy based on characters.
Yes, that's right.
So it actually maintained its quality.
It's very much based also on the location. So
Yeah.
you got Miami Beach. Well, they've got a beach. They can just stay there and film on it, right? You've got. I think number 3 was in the bayou. It was all like on the Everglades or whatever. So they just make your movie there. Yeah. It's great stuff. Great stuff. We should also mention that the writers Neil Israel and Pat Proft made another movie called Combat Academy, which was
does ring a bell.
1986. Had George Clooney before he was George Clooney. That was a pretty fun movie. I have that on
Is it
DVD.
before he was Booker on Roseanne?
Yeah, that's a good question. It may have been
Or before he helped Toonie find her dog in Facts of Life.
before Return of the Killer
Facts
Tomatoes.
of Life. Yeah. Or Red Surf, where he's the drug dealer with who was the gay guy from Melrose Place?
I don't remember.
Grant, not
Shue,
Matt
Andrew Shue.
No,
No,
no.
Is it-
Shord.
he's the only one I knew.
Shord?
Anyway,
It's not Grant Show, the blonde guy. He ended up being one of the husbands in
I have no idea.
what's that stupid TV show with Terry Hatcher and Darren Stars? You know, about all the housewives on a block.
Oh, Desperate Housewives.
No. It was before Desperate Housewives, but maybe that's all that Real Housewives is based on. Maybe it is Desperate Housewives.
Okay.
Marsha Gross is in it. Terry Hatcher.
Yeah.
Yeah. That show. Yeah.
Jarrett's favorite show.
Yeah, he's married to he's married to the William H. Macy's wife.
Wisteria Lane.
Yeah,
It's all shot where fucking the Lethal Weapon, the Burbs are all shot on the same street.
also on the same place. Yeah.
But anyway, Combat Academy was originally called Combat High, and then they just decided let's cash in because it's a very similar movie. It's a different academy. It's the Combat Academy, and
Is that
the poster's the same as Police Academy, but they're all in army gear.
is the guy with the handguns from Big Trouble in Little China? Is he one of the instructors in Combat Academy? You know he's got the he's not Al Leong. He's the other.
I know
he's
who
the
you
bald
mean.
one.
I do need to go back and watch it because I watched it with the kids about 10 years ago, and we all loved it. It was the first time I'd seen it, and I was surprised that it holds up. Could have been a sequel to Police Academy for all we care. but Pat Proft and Neil Israel, the same year as Police Academy, also did Bachelor Party, and so that turns 40 this year.
Wow, are you
There's
kidding? Look at my tits.
Oh, what a banger that movie is. And I watched that with the kids around the same time as well, and they have never laughed so hard as to when the guy falls through the sunroof and they kiss his ass cheeks. Oh, fuck, we dead.
Well, funny, all I can remember is Monique Gabrielle, and they get like when Tom Hanks has to decide whether he's going to sleep with her at his bachelor party, and all his friends come over, and the nerdy one who's like, "Are you kidding? Look at my tits!" And Nick the Dick, he puts his cock in the hot dog roll.
Yeah, that's right.
She's like pulling it.
Oh, my goodness. So anyway,
so
just
many.
some great stuff there. I think we've padded that time nicely, Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what Boneheads have to say.
Welcome to Bonehead Weekly Fun Size. Let's talk about actors. Good actors, Chad.
So there are, great actors, actors who are known for many roles, but there may be a role that they were just absolutely amazing in that nobody talks about because it's from a movie that maybe isn't as popular as the more well-known movies.
I've got a twofer. Chad gave me a really good one, and it's not, and I don't want to say it, but the twofer I have is actually two people in a movie that is amazing that no one ever talks about. No one went and saw it. Ryan Gosling and what's his face? I totally forgot his name. And The Nice Guys, Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe.
Yeah. Nobody talks about that movie. Is a throwback. It's written and directed by Shane Black. It's hilarious. It is inventive. It is different. No one went and saw it. I saw it in the theater. No one was. I don't remember who was in there with me. It's just
I was
good. Where did we see it together? I don't remember.
I think so.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Chad, do you remember all the movies that we've seen together?
No.
No. You don't even remember all the women you've slept with, Chad, much less all the movies you've seen with me.
But
Let me tell you,
I am.
Chad lays some carpet, and by that he has a carpet installation business.
My name is Chad Jennings Lothario.
I don't know what that means, but if it has
great-
anything to do with carpet, Chad knows it.
The great Don Knotts movie, The Love God.
Based on
Wait,
not Chad.
That's your pick?
No,
James?
I just wanted to. never
Chad.
mind.
Next.
So mine, and this is what made me come up with this topic. I just saw it about a week ago, and I was absolutely amazed by Pierce Brosnan in Seraphim Falls.
I've seen it, but it has been a while.
I had never seen it, and I wasn't going in expecting much because I'm like, oh, it's Liam Neeson, Pierce Brosnan in a Western. Probably it might be entertaining, but man, Pierce Brosnan is absolutely gut wrenching in that film. It's in my opinion, in terms of Pierce Brosnan movies, his best performance, period. And if you're not familiar with it, it's about Pierce Brosnan as a man who is being hunted by Liam Neeson and this other gang, and you think it's like a bounty on a wanted man, but it goes into something more deeper. And then also it's just Pierce Brosnan dealing with the suffering of being alone, being hurt, dealing with this internal trauma that he's dealt with, that led to all of the subsequent chain of events. He is absolutely amazing in it. I will say this: the ending, but the movie's worth it just to see Pierce Brosnan, and that's saying something because Liam Neeson's in it as well, and Pierce Brosnan steals it from everybody else in that movie.
I think Pierce Brosnan's actually really good in that Jackie Chan movie, The Foreigner, as well.
Oh well, honestly, it was between that and Jackie Chan in The Foreigner.
Jackie Chan's really good in that. Everybody,
Yeah.
James,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, James.
No, I've mentioned this film before, but it automatically comes to mind because, once you're talking about the modern day Laurence Olivier that is William Shatner, you may think of Airplane 2, you may think of the Star Trek movies, but honestly, Incubus is a film that deserves more attention. Shatner's really good in it. It's shot in Esperanto, so the language is an issue. You better read subtitles, but he's really good in it. And I watched it again a while back, and I thought, you know what? This could be an A24 film. It's very arty. It's very surreal. There you go. It's an old film, but William Shatner. Don't confuse it with The Devil's Reign. I don't recommend that one so much. But Incubus was William Shatner. No, Devil's Reign's not bad. It's Shatner and Ernest Borgnine, and the consultant was Anton LaVey, the head of the Church of Satan. So maybe you should check that one out.
This has been Bonehead Weekly Fun Size.
Thank you very much, Boneheads. Got it right this week. Good.
About bloody time.
Yeah, about time you got it right. Haven't been doing it for long. Only like 4 years now.
You've always been wrong.
What are we doing now? Recommending movies. And once again, just like Lucky Hank, I'm underprepared here. So I'm just going to throw 3 out in one. It's a trilogy. I watched it last week. Snake Eater. I hadn't watched this since I was a kid. And granted, when I did revisit it, I didn't get to number 3 because that's not on the platforms like number 1 and 2 are. But I'm really keen to. And there's a 4th one that I didn't know about. It's kind of tenuous.
Is Lorenzo in it?
No, it's Gary Daniels. And it's
So
called,
I'm surprised you don't own it.
It's called Hawk's Revenge, made in 1997.
Yeah.
And if you look up like either Wiki or IMDb, it says in the trivia is actually the 4th installment of Snake Eater. But I can't see how. Like, it's a different character. I don't even see posters on or VHS covers that tie it together.
It's been a long time since I've seen the Snake Eater films. Is there a scene where they explain why they call him Snake Eater?
Well, Snake Eater is like what do you call it? A Navy SEALs kind of squadron.
Right.
Like the Snake Eaters are a type of, and he's a former.
He's a former Snake Eater.
Snake Eater, yeah. He's
Right.
got the tattoo to prove it and all that kind of stuff. And anyway, it's Lorenzo Lamas, and he plays sort of. He's like a cross between John Rambo and Martin Riggs. He dresses like Martin Riggs and acts like Martin Riggs, but he's got the know-how to do booby traps and survivalism.
He's
and
Chuck Norris if Chuck Norris had a personality.
yeah, that's right. And in the first, these are weird movies. Like the first 2 I watched, they're like 5 movies all just sort of stitched together. Like they kind of go in different directions. The first one has him. It begins with him sort of on a drug bust, and he has a microphone hidden up his ass, and he gets naked with the chick, and they almost fuck him.
She thinks he's wearing a wire so to make sure she makes him strip.
Yeah.
And she likes what she sees.
Yeah, but he doesn't actually have it up his ass. He has it under his hair.
In his hair,
yeah. But the stakeout cops on the outside of the building come in and say, well, where did you hide it?
Yeah.
And he points to his ass. Anyway, it's such a dumb joke, but it's if you're a kid when you saw that, that's all you're going to remember.
That's all you can remember, yeah. And because there's no way. Like, we know we're on microphones every week.
Yeah.
If we shoved one of these microphones up our ass, the sound quality would not stand up in a court
but
of
we'd
law.
pick up those tummy rumbles, that's for sure.
Damn straight.
And we need 4 mics, really, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So then he goes down to, like, Louisiana or something, to, like, Redneckville, and goes up against this gang of hillbillies that have kidnapped his sister after murdering his parents. And it's like, where the fuck are these movies? Like, they've taken 5 scripts and they've gone, okay, well,
They're quite
let's
cool.
just make these all at once. And then number 2 is called The Drug Buster. And he teams up with the gay guy from Revenge of the Nerds, the black guy, who is like a pusher.
You're right.
And they go
Like Huggy
into
Bear.
this drug world that then turns into a whole different movie again, where he gets locked up in an insane asylum, and he escapes the insane asylum to solve a case, and then goes back to the insane asylum.
It's like
Where-
American
where
Horror
they-
Story
where-
has ripped off the
where
Snake
they
Eater
have
series.
wheelchair fights to the death, and they each have to have their leg strapped up as if it's broken, but it's not. But it has
But
like that's
that's
the
the
handicap,
jouster, right.
the jouster, and they've got to try and push each other off a rooftop in wheelchairs. And it's like, what does this have to do with anything? But the point being, I recommend these movies because
I was
they
going
are
to say, it all
so
sounds fucking
fun.
excellent.
They are so much fun, and if you love Rambo and Lethal Weapon, then put them together. Put them together. You got Snake Eater 1, 2, and 3. There's nothing more to say. Just fucking watch them. Number 1 and 2 are on Amazon Prime. I don't know how to watch number 3 yet, but I'll get there.
You'll figure it out. I'm sure is it on YouTube? Did you look on the
I kind of want to
YouTube?
buy a Blu-ray trilogy if it exists.
Yeah.
Like, I want physical media for these.
Just to put the word out to like Imprint or Umbrella,
Oh.
like Snake Eater, please.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably something you would have found on the old Jigsaw like
Yeah.
DVDs.
It's an MRA,
Yeah.
an MRA DVD.
The posters were shit house too, but
Yeah.
great movies. And our good friend
Who was
of
it?
the show,
Did Rockwell put out the VHS?
don't know, but
Or maybe
Brody Kane, our number 1 listener, when I posted that I was watching these, he came in swooping and goes, "Oh, best trilogy ever." So you know he's a Good Movie Monday listener.
yeah,
That's for sure.
because he's got good taste.
All right, on to your recommendation. Are you more prepared than I am?
No, not at all. I literally walked into the room looking at your collection, going, "What the
I
fuck?"
wondered
talk
why
about?
you spent so much time looking at my movies.
But I actually did watch a movie. I just completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've talked about it on the show before.
Okay.
But maybe not. But I'm going to talk about Cy Enfield's 1957 classic Hell Drivers.
Yep.
It is available on Blu-ray through, I think, Kino Lorber.
Right.
Maybe BFI in the UK. It's not available locally, but it's a fantastic movie. It stars Stanley Baker, and Stanley Baker gets a job at this rock hauling company driving a truck, and they have like 12 drivers who deliver rocks from the depot to from a quarry to the depot, and they have to do at least 12 trips a day or they get fired. But there's one guy played by Patrick McGowan who can do 18. But it's because he's a fucking psychopath.
Right.
And he's also the toughest guy in the yard who beats up all the others. And they drive down these dark, dangerous roads at breakneck speeds trying to deliver these loads. And it's, of course, the trucks, don't have great brakes. It's super dangerous. And Stanley Baker gets a job there and immediately puts the back up, like challenges Patrick McGowan and the status quo. Fantastic film. Cy Enfield was an American director who was blacklisted and ended up moving to the UK to make films.
Yep.
And he did a bunch with Stanley Baker, including Zulu and stuff like that. And this film has a fantastic cast. Apart from Stanley Baker and Patrick McGowan, Herbert Lom pops up, Peggy Cummins, William Hartnell is the boss of the factory. He's the original Doctor Who, just in case people don't know. Sid James is one of the other drivers. Sean Connery is one of the other drivers.
Oh,
a very, very early Sean Connery appearance, and he's like just as intimidated by Patrick McGowan as everyone else. He's not the tough guy that we would come to know. Gordon Jackson, Alfie Bass, David McCallum is Stanley Baker's like innocent younger brother. It's just geez, what's her name turns up? Charles Bronson's, I guess, David McCallum's wife at the time, or would become her wife, Jill Ireland.
Yep.
Who I keep forgetting is British, but she like she got put through a lot of shit, but she turns up as the girl who works in like the roadhouse that services all the truck drivers and stuff. And
well, if it excites you, it excites me.
But it is a kind of Wages of Fear or They Drive by Night type kind of thriller.
I love that
dramatic
genre
thriller.
from that era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really well done.
Awesome.
The character, everyone's great. Like all those people are at their peak.
Yep.
In it, like they're all great. And Sean Connery's a bit like, he like is an instigator.
Yeah.
And he's pretty fun. And he kind of has like wrestling matches with Gordon Jackson and stuff like that, where they they all live in the company has like a house that they rent the driver's rooms that comes out of their salary. It's very, company town type thing, but there's only one bathroom. And so Gordon Jackson and Sean Connery are constantly fighting over trying to get in and stuff. And they have like their own little bits and stuff. It's great. A really good movie.
Add it to your list, people. Another recommendation.
Yeah, Hell Driver.
In
Hell Drivers.
the can. Before we wrap the show up, I should sort of backtrack. I never announced the song that we played halfway through the show. I did. It was "I'm Gonna Be Somebody" by Jack Mack and the Heart Attack from Police Academy, the first one. So we're going to close the show with another one.
Before you close the show, we should do a quick in memorandum, because between the show airing and last night, film critic Jim Sherlock passed away, which I didn't realize.
I didn't either.
No, yeah, he passed away, but so did Grant Page, Australian stuntman.
I did see that for sure. Yes. Terrible news. I mean,
yeah.
A legend of sort of Ozploitation. Like if there was a stunt done in the 70s and 80s, he was behind it.
He literally set himself on fire at the premiere of Not Quite Hollywood.
No, he did. Oh, that's and
he was the Coca-Cola. Was he the Coca-Cola man? When he did when the director tells you to jump off a cliff.
Yeah, I reckon it was because
you drink a Coke and jump off a cliff.
What was the stunt rock? Was he in that?
Yes.
Yep. And what was the documentary about the stuntmen that Brian Trinchard Smith, Death Cheaters. Yeah, they are just bang on.
Yeah.
Stunt Rock particularly is fucking great.
Yeah.
Love it. Oh, that very sad news.
Yeah, very sad news.
Alrighty.
But now,
thanks for bringing it down, mate. Thanks for bringing it down.
Bring it down a notch. I could have said it at the start. I waited to the end.
Well, I thank you for everybody listening. Don't forget to go to goodmoviemonday.com, and from there you can find your way to all of our social media pages. We'll have some videos up this week, as we always do. Some clips from this show, because we have got cameras in our faces, so you can see.
Assuming we get the camera?
Yeah, it's well and truly stopped recording though, mate.
Oh, excellent. Perfect. Let me scratch my nuts then. Been waiting all show.
So social media, TikTok, all that kind of stuff. Find us and join in the conversation. This song that we're going to end is from also the original Police Academy by Jack Mack and the Heart Attack. Great name.
Great name.
It's called "She's in My Corner." So Ben's wildest dreams.
No one keeps baby in a corner, except Jack Mack and the Heart Attack.
Callahan in the corner.
Callahan in the corner. Very nice.